Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another movie review. So, because it is the Halloween season, and I decided not only would I review Halloween Havoc matches from both WCW and NXT, but I also do some Halloween movies as well. And this movie, well, not technically a Halloween movie, is kind of a horror or comedy musical, in a way. Hey, and so yeah, let's talk about it. And I am, of course, talking about Little Shop of Horrors. So, as always, I'm not a professional movie reviewer or analyst or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I definitely had a really good time with this movie. Now, admittedly, it had been a long time since I had seen this movie. Yeah, and this movie I'm referring to, this version is the 1986 version with Rick Moranis. So kind of the history of Little Shop of Horrors is an interesting one. So it started off as a movie in 1960, but then that got adapted to a stage play, and so the stage play is based off the movie, and then this movie, which is kind of the remake, is kind of based off of both. Honestly, yeah, takes some elements from both here, and like I said, it had been a long time since I'd seen this movie. I didn't even realize it until I actually decided I would watch and review this movie for the Halloween season that I think the last time I saw this movie might have been in middle school, honestly. So, going back to watch it here definitely was a treat for the most part. But does it still hold up so many years later? Let's find out. So, as always, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and what I disliked about the movie. So, starting with what I liked, it is a very fun movie. Normally, musicals aren't really my thing, and I don't know why, but for here, I was willing to make an exception. This and, of course, the old school Disney movies. Normally, I'm able to make an exception when it comes to musicals. Why musicals not my thing? I couldn't really tell you. I just never really was super duper into them. But this one, it is fun, and this one is pretty cool. So, pretty much the plot being that at a plant, and it essentially comes down from outer space, and our protagonist Seymour finds the plant and takes it into the flower shop, the failing flower shop, on Skid Row. Which is pretty much like down in the dumps. Almost pretty run down everything. But he takes the plant and he pretty much uses the plant to turn the fortunes around of the store, the flower shop. And so once the plant becomes healthy again, and the flower shop flourishes. But Seymour, of course, has to feed it for the flower to be healthy again, for the plant to be healthy again. And the plant is named Audrey 2 after Seymour's friend slash coworker slash love interest, Audrey. So Seymour has to feed the plant. Here's what the problem is, though. The plant feeds off of blood. That's right, blood. Now, they kind of somewhat leave it ambiguous in the movie as to whether it's actually human blood or just any old kind of blood. Although Seymour does ask the question in the song and everything when he's trying to feed Audrey 2, who asking like, hey, will any blood do? Does it have to be human? Does it have to be mine? He does ask the question, and we almost kind of get an answer to that later on in the movie. But yeah, so the fortunes turn around. Seymour's luck starts turning around. But meanwhile, as Audrey grows and grows, the plant wants more blood, it wants to be fed, and it turns out the plant can talk, not just talk, but sing, of course. So, well, eventually Seymour, because he's like all drained up, he's anemic and everything after having lost so much blood from having to feed Audrey. So he's wondering where to get more blood. Turns out there is a source. There's not being Audrey's abusive boyfriend, Oren, and who is a dentist, and a pretty funny one at that. At a very a sadistic dentist. Is Isaac Yankum DDS, eat your heart out, because man, like if this movie was anywhere near realistic, obviously it's not, of course, but if it was anywhere near realistic, he would have lost his license a long time ago with a lot of stuff he's doing. But that's kind of the whole point, showing like hey, he's like a scumbag and everything. So they ponder, hey, I know having him die, killing him, is wrong, but you need food, and he's kind of a jerk. So eventually Seymour, he does go to kill Oren and everything, but Oren accidentally kills himself because as he overdoses is on laughing gas, so he overdosed on that, so he dies there. Then Seymour chops up Oren and feeds him to Audrey, but the owner, or Mr. Mushnick, finds out not just what Seymour did, but also exactly how to feed Audrey too. So Seymour's in trouble there. He eventually gets with Audrey, the original, the woman, of course. Which turns out she has feelings for him as well. And she gets her own song somewhere that's green. They confess their feelings for each other. They get together as a couple, even though she does feel bad about Oren's disappearance. Although Seymour reassures her that he was like a jerk and everything, and that maybe him disappearing wasn't the worst thing in the world. And she does, for the most part, agree. And that's why she blames herself, because she feels like she wished it happened with how Oren treated her and everything. So there is that. So Audrey disappears. There's Mushnick is eaten by Audrey too, who and he confronts Seymour. He's eaten by Audrey too, and Seymour, of course, feels absolutely horrible about it. Of course Seymour trying to figure out what to do, and I do have the wiki here for reference just in case I miss anything, as I often do. With Mushnick out of the picture, Seymour essentially is getting offered all these deals and everything, signing all these contracts, pretty much franchising Audrey too. But then figures out that's exactly what Audrey 2 wants, because that's how they begin world domination. That's right, this is an alien invasion, baby. Seymour eventually figures out that's Audrey's game, so he decides he has to destroy the plant. Now, this is where it gets interesting. From here, with Seymour deciding he has to destroy and kill the plant, and does leave off to get Audrey 2 some meat, because Audrey 2 says is hungry and demands Seymour to feed it. So this is where the movie breaks off into essentially two endings. The version I watched on Max, not HBO Max, just Max. So the version I watched on Max was the theatrical ending, and this is the ending that actually made it, to theaters and everything. But there is two endings. There's the theatrical ending, but then there's the original ending that was cut. So let's talk about the original ending first. So the original ending, the plant eats Audrey. Well, tries to. Seymour saves her, but she's so wounded and banged up that she ends up essentially dying anyway. And with her dying wish, she demands to be fed to the plant so that her and Seymour can be together. her in a way. She sings a reprise of "Somewhere That's Green," and then she passes, and then Seymour feeds Audrey to Audrey, the original, which definitely may hurt the brain a little bit, but so he feeds Audrey to the plant, and then after after he's approached by a salesman, essentially, about franchising everything, getting all these getting essentially franchising the plant and everything, making sure everybody has one. On which I did kind of jump the gun a little bit and mention that beforehand, but this is actually where it's mentioned. Seymour takes on the plant, tries to stop it, but ultimately ends up eaten by the plant, and then their world domination is complete. Several plants are sold. Well, but then they go haywire. They enact their real plan. They essentially take over the world. They're trying to be stopped by the military, but there's a lot of them, and they are very, very large. Even one like climbing the Statue of Liberty at the end, and kind of similar to I think it was King Kong that climbed the Statue of Liberty, and the plant busts out the screen of the movie screen, pretty much, and that's how the movie ended. So that was the original ending. That was the ending they filmed and everything. But when he ran it by the testers, because that's oftentimes how movies get approved for being released and everything. They go by test audience and everything. The test audience didn't like that ending, so they had to reshoot the ending, and we essentially got the theatrical ending, aka pretty much the good ending. So, pretty much the same, starts off the same with the plant trying to eat Audrey, except Seymour actually saves her, and she has some little scrapes here and there, but otherwise she's totally fine. Cool. And then Seymour does take on the plant, but this time Seymour electrocutes the plant, and the plant blows up and dies. Seymour does turn down the businessman as well. The businessman part is in there as well, with the businessman wanting to franchise. As in the original ending, the one that got cut, the businessman goes through with the plan anyway. But in this theatrical ending, he asks Seymour about it. Seymour says, "Nope, we're not doing that." So Seymour kills the plant, and then Audrey and Seymour, and happily ever after, are going to their dream house and everything. The house that was shown in the Somewhere That's Green scene and everything with that song. That happens, but in their garden, and there is another little plant, just like Audrey too. So kind of ending on that cliffhanger, like here we go again kind of ending. What I did, I did end up seeing both endings. I saw the theatrical ending when I watched it regularly yesterday for a review and everything. But then I saw the original ending on YouTube earlier on today, and so I looked through the comments, and it was kind of split. Some people liked the original ending because it's a lot more dark and a lot more cynical and everything. Plus, that's pretty much, aside from like the whole military part and everything, and where the plans truly do take over the world, that's pretty much how like the stage play and everything ends. And even the original movie, it ends with Seymour dying, and the final song, "Don't Feed the Plants." The plants essentially win, but other people do prefer like the theatrical ending, the part where there is the happily ever after and the plant is defeated. Which one do you prefer? Or let me know in the comments. For me, I'd say probably I can see why people do like their ending. And on one hand, the original ending, the one they filmed, for starters, they went through all that effort and everything, and a lot of puppeteering went into that to essentially go to waste, which does suck, but that oftentimes happens in movies. But that original ending is very dark, and this is like a horror movie. This technically is a horror movie. Oftentimes in horror movies, the bad guy wins. And that's just the nature of it. So in this one, the bad guy wins and everything, and they take over the world. And it is definitely people caught on like the metaphorical side of things that at that when you feed certain things, certain habits, and everything, or even like want to chase your desires. Because Seymour desired to get out of Skid Row. Oh, he's gonna have this nice house and everything, and Audrey desired it as well with Somewhere That's Green, like getting out of Skid Row. Oh, like having fame and fortune, not having to worry about like poverty or anything anymore. Or with that, and it can be a problem if things do go too far. And so the original ending, and I guess to an extent, the original movie and the stage play also kind of exemplifies that. But the other hand, the nice ending is nice, and they essentially win. They get everything that they wanted. It is very much like a fairy tale ending. So, which one do you guys prefer? Let me know. But yeah, so the movie is still a lot of fun. The songs were pretty fun and everything. I didn't know the songs word for word because I suck at remembering stuff. Plus, I can't sing. But they were pretty fun. And they did have kind of the Greek trio, or a Greek chorus, I should say, that being Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon played by Tichina Arnold, Michelle Weeks, and Tisha Campbell, well, respectively. He and they sing and everything, pretty much similar or to like say the Disney Hercules movie, like the Disney animated Hercules movie. That was a literal Greek chorus because Hercules is Greek mythology, kinda, but. Yeah, so they have the Greek chorus there. They sing. They're in the background of a lot of the songs and everything. And this and the movie does have like a mix of like funny moments, some sad, dramatic moments, some heartwarming moments. So just all kinds of stuff of really to help keep the movie going. You do really root for Seymour. Like Seymour, you can tell he's a good dude. Like you can tell he's a good guy, but he made some mistakes, and technically he didn't kill anyone. Like in the original movie and the musical, he's like catching bodies left and right. He accidentally kills a drunk guy. He intentionally kills a prostitute to feed to Audrey too. But this one, he technically didn't kill anybody. Like Oren killed himself with the laughing gas, and Mushnick accidentally stepped into the plant. But otherwise, Seymour technically didn't kill anybody. But kind of having to balance, and he does all this because he thinks that Audrey, he won't like him without the fame and fortune and everything. But she reveals that she loves him either way, which is exactly why she was with another guy. Sure, but and I guess that's the thing too. Who is like, yeah, Audrey's in this relationship, but it's not a situation where the movie tells you you're supposed to root for Audrey to get out of this relationship and get with Seymour, like we see with quite a few movies where that's told. But it's like, should she really though? But this movie, you definitely feel it too. Like all the characters commenting like, "Hey, Audrey, that guy's no good." Mushnick, every time like Audrey's showing up with all these bruises in her arms, like a cast and everything, like, "Audrey, that guy's no good. Don't be with him," stuff like that. So, so movie does kind of tell you and kind of steer you in that direction. Like, hey, this Oren guy definitely sucks, but you also do kind of come to that conclusion, like, yeah, Audrey really shouldn't be with that guy. Like Seymour's a cool guy. You should be with Seymour. I feel like Seymour is kind of like what the internet calls the r/nice guys. He's like the Reddit nice guys, the guys who think they're nice but they're actually not, who think just because they're nice and everything they deserve like female attention and everything. And Seymour, I feel like, and I came to this conclusion while I was watching the movie, Seymour is pretty much the guy that the r/nice guys think they are, essentially. And I think it's done really well. You do root for Seymour though, because he is a nice guy and he is trying and everything, and you do want them to get together. And when they get together, it is pretty nice. So the movie essentially is able to have its cake and eat it as well, which is nice. It's nice that it's able to do that. But yeah, it's pretty fun. The characters are fun, especially Oren. Like Oren, he may be a jerk, he may be a sadist, but man, he is fun to watch. And I think part of that had or maybe even a lot of that comes to like Steve Martin's performance, and we even see an interaction with him and another character played by Bill Murray, known as Arthur Denton, where Arthur Denton is a masochist and is totally a fan of all like the sadistic torturing and stuff that Oren does to all his patients, and comes exactly for that reason. And so that's kind of, it almost comes out of left field, but it's funny, so it fits. So yeah, there's those elements, and yeah, those elements do make for an enjoyable movie. If I did have to find something to nitpick about it, for starters, the movie is pretty short. It's about an hour and a half, so the movie is pretty short in that regard. But also, I do. It sucks that it took a while for the original ending to come out. Oh, because eventually what happened was the original ending, eventually was like, essentially restored onto DVD. I believe in 2012. Yeah, in 2012 it was released on DVD and Blu-ray, original ending and everything. So it is nice to get there, but having that original ending and not quite having it make the final cut, I imagine does suck. But sadly, that does happen quite a lot in like movie production and everything. And there's a lot of stuff that gets left on the cutting room floor. An example I could think of is the pighead scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which actually, now that I say that aloud, I just got that joke of Eddie Valiant potentially being somewhat pig-headed. But yeah, so that scene being left on the cutting room floor. There's a lot of scenes and a lot of like concepts and everything that get left on the cutting room floor. But it does suck that we didn't get that ending. But we did get the nice ending, and the nice ending is a nice ending. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the movie and my review of the movie. Did you like select the movie? Did you like select my review of the movie? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.